This is Patriot Park, teaching history one ride at a time. The park sections of Patriot Park include the Civil War territory, the New World, the West, Stars and Stripes Place, and Northern Colonial America. The rides of the Civil War territory include the Siege and the Maze to Freedom. The Siege is a water coaster designed to give guests a feel for what the Battle of Fort Sumter was like. The Battle of Fort Sumter was one of the leading factors of the American Civil War. It is where the first shots were fired in the war between the Union and Confederate armies. Maze to Freedom. This attraction puts guests in the shoes of slaves attempting to reach the North to be considered free. The attraction represents a pit stop on the Underground Railroad, which many slaves took to obtain freedom. The guest enters the house to discover a maze-like layout. The guest must attempt to escape the house without being caught by a slave-catching Southerner. The significance of this ride is to give guests an insight into the fear of trying to achieve freedom as a slave. The next section in the park is called the New World. The New World has two rides, the Expedition and the Merry-Go-Round. The Expedition is a water coaster created to show the treacherous voyage of Christopher Columbus and his crew. This ride takes guests across the mighty Atlantic Ocean into the New World, where guests will find the infamous people Columbus referenced as Indians or Native Americans. The Merry-Go-Round takes guests on a smooth, relaxing spin around pictures of Amerigo Vespucci's discoveries in America. The carousel gives guests the visual representation of what Amerigo might have seen in his expeditions. The carousel consists of tiny Spaniard Portuguese ships for guests to ride upon, which represents the countries Amerigo sailed under in his discoveries. The West has two rides, the Liberator, Remember the Alamo, and El Guerra. The Liberator is a roller coaster designed to give patrons the full understanding of the Battle of the Alamo, which was a leading factor to the independence of Texas from Mexico. The ride takes guests into the heart of the 13-day siege of the Alamo. El Guerra, which in Spanish translates to the war, is a ride dedicated to the brave Americans who fought in the Mexican-American War. The ride consists of a pendulum with a rotating bottom. In Northern Colonial America, there are two rides, the Witch Hunt and the Rebellion. The Witch Hunt is an inverted suspended coaster. This coaster is based off one of the darker times in American history, the Salem witch trials. This coaster allows for guests to inhabit the mindset of a Puritan who is going on a hunt to convict those of witchcraft. The Rebellion is a double swinging inverter. This particular ride remembers Bacon's Rebellion, which was led by Nathaniel Bacon. Stars and Stripes Place has two rides, the Boston Tea Party in Lexington and Concord. Boston Tea Party is a teacup ride created to remember one of America's famous acts of rebellion against the British Parliament, the Boston Tea Party. Lexington and Concord is a wooden roller coaster created to commemorate the famous first battle of the American Revolution, in which the colonists won. This ride consists of a loop and overbank curve. There are three roaming characters throughout the park, which include George Washington for his military accomplishments in the American Revolution, Abraham Lincoln for his accomplishments during his presidency during the Civil War, and Christopher Columbus for his discoveries in America. The following are food vendors and where they are located within the park.